Hey guys, so I'm getting ghosted again. And I sit there and I'm like, you might say, how are you able to handle all of this? It's easy. This is simple. If they're your person, they won't ghost you. That's it. If they're your person, things, I can't say that they flow perfectly because nothing's perfect. But it's kind of like people will tell you they are or are not what you're looking for. Sometimes they tell you by their enthusiasm levels. And sometimes it's the polar opposite of how you think it should be. So if somebody gets really rambunctious to talk to you and it amps up and they're like talking nonstop and it's like really cool and you're like, wow, this guy actually is interested in me. I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but it's a flag, and you need to like sit there and stare at it and ask yourself questions. Like when you get done with the conversation, do you say, I think we just walked through an entire relationship together in that conversation we had. It lasted a couple hours. What do I think is going to happen next? So the problem, do not go into limerence. Do not start thinking, oh, this is the guy and we can do this and we can do that, blah, 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 blah. No, do not do that. What you're going to do instead is you're going to sit there and go, okay, are we moving forward? Or did we just do the get to know you section already and now it's like, what's next? And unfortunately, normally, if you talk through everything, the what's next is either ghosting or sometimes there's actually some more conversations. But if in the morning you wake up and the usual time that you were expecting that they got up and we were going to say hi and they don't, and then you sit there and go, what do I think this is? It's ghosting. It's ghosting. And you take it like this. Thank you for not wasting my time. Thank you for knowing what you want and not, prioritizing me. Because by not prioritizing me, you told me what you're going to be like when we're in a relationship, if we were ever in a relationship. And I wouldn't tolerate that from you. So I'm not going to tolerate it now. And I'm going to do this very nicely and say thank you because you've done me a favor. I've done this to somebody before. It was a lot of fun. He thought he was going to get a rise out of me, like I was going to get upset with him. And he basically said, I don't think we could date. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And he stopped, and he was with people. And he turned around and he goes, did you just thank me? Yeah, I did, thank you. And then he was like, why did you thank me? Like, he was like perplexed. I said, you knew what you wanted, and you didn't waste my time. Thank you. And he just sat there like, well, but don't you want to go out with me? And I said, no, you told me no. I'm good. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to say, hey, I think this could work, because it can't. It's dead. It's gone. Thank you. And he walked away like a puppy that got kicked. And I sat there and I'm like, well, for one thing, that was really rude on both our parts. It was really rude on my part because I was dealing with somebody who wasn't used to somebody of my... INFJs are notorious for cutting people right to the core with just kind, nice words. Like, we don't have to be mean. We don't have to raise our voices. We don't have to say anything remotely bad. Like, there's no swear words. I can make you feel like shit and be so sweet to you. And when you walk away, you know you fucked up. And you can go feel bad somewhere else, and I can go feel okay about myself because I did the right thing. I said, thank you. Now I'm not interested. We're good. And do I say that to people? All the time. Why? I don't have time, space, or the energy to put into somebody if they're not even remotely interested back. Or if they're half-heartedly interested back, the answer is no. No. If you're in, you're in. If you're not, thank you. The exit's that way. Love you guys.